This is the first log I'll be cutting this year now. Actually, the second. Okay, so let's see what we got here. .22 at that end. 22 at this end, so this is a pretty nice log here. Let me look at my lift. 22 inches will get me a 15-inch cant. So if I can get to a 15.5 inch, so I'll probably pull a 16-inch cant out of that. That'll give me a lot of 2x4s or a lot of 2x8s, either one. I'll get back to you. Okay guys, before I start to cut this log is a 10-foot long. The other one is a 16-footer, that big one. This one's 10 foot, 10 foot 3, and it's probably, I guess I want to say around, I'd say around 1,200, 1,100 pounds. And you can see that the toe board there has it picked up off the bunk. Now I just did that just to see if it would pick that up. It's a little bit, it's not really hard to crank, but it's a little harder to crank than it is for a smaller log. but I can still crank it and it still goes up. But in essence, I need it down on the bunk anyway to make the actual first cut. Okay, so this is white pine, in case I didn't say it, and the second log for this season for me, because I cut a hickory log up the other day trying to get some bow staves out of it, but it didn't work too good. Oh man, this looks beautiful. Wow. See how straight my cut was. Not bad. It's a little bit wavy there. That blade should probably be sharpened. I think I'm going to just go and get myself another blade, and then I'll sharpen that one later. I don't feel like sharpening it right now. What I'm after here though is 16 inches. So if you look here, 16 inches is right about there, so I can come down there 2 inches. I can probably get, I don't know, maybe a 2 by 8 out of this. So if I cut a 2 by 8 out of that, that'll give me the cant that I'm looking for. What I'm looking to do with this thing is to get 2 by 4s, a bunch of 10-foot long 2 by 4s. I'm going to change that blade and then I'll get back to you. I've got 16 inches up here, but I don't have it down here. Down here I've got 14. I can still take more boards off of that. Just see where. Yeah, it's going to end up being less because it's narrower in the middle. This log has a little bit of a bow to it. The bow is this direction, so it's going to be smaller than I thought. So I'm still going to go after 2x with it, but I'm going to roll this now because that's not, it's wide enough for me to roll and start cutting the other way. Okay guys, I was on the phone there. Of course, I guess you guys don't even recognize there's a time gap. Alright, so anyway, what I got here is I got basically 14 inches here on the top of this. A little wider down here. Like I say, there was a little bow in this thing that has me... I'm going to get a 16-inch cant out of this. I just got to go down, looks like another 2 inches off of here. Since this is so close to 12 inches, I'm just going to cut 2 1-inch boards out of here, and then I'll have a 16-inch cant. The reason I'm cutting the 16-inch boards out of here is because on this whole, like if this was a 1x12, on this whole 1x12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I got 6 knots in here. Only one of them is, or 2 of them, the small one here and about 1.5 inch one there is a black knot. So, and they're semi-black knots. The other ones are red knots, which means that the tree grew with the knot. So it's actually looking pretty good there. So I'm going to take 2 1-inch boards out of there and then I'll trim them off a little bit later. But that's my next cut. By here. Very nice. Take another inch off of this, and that'll give me that 16-inch cant, or close to it. Actually, I'm going to take one more 1-inch board off of that. guys, I get a lot of different comments, and one of the comments that I had gotten at one point was, you know, after you make the cut, bring the blade back on top of the saw and it'll take the sawdust off of it. You know, you can do what you want, but think about this. You're cutting with both sets. In other words, the setting of the blade. You're cutting with both tooths when you're cutting the wood off of here. When you drag the blade back over top of the saw, you're taking and using the set part that aims down to clean the dust off. Now I'm not going to say any more. I'm going to let you think about that. Definitely a heavyweight. I'm just trying to square the log up in here. That cut that I have wasn't as nice and square as I would have liked. So it's not too bad at this end. That end it's a little bit canted, but cutting framing lumber, you're never going to notice it really on the edges. I think you can see how that narrows out down at that end. Kind of goose up my plans here a little bit, but I still got good wood in there. So far so good, nothing bad coming out of that. So I'm going to roll that again, see what kind of a cant I can get out of there. It looks like it's going to be smaller than 16. It's going to be probably 14 and maybe 14, I'm not even sure. 14 on this side. See this or not, but at this end of the log here, even though this was the small end, it had a bump in it there that's given me a little bit of a deception, made me think I was going to get a 16-inch cant out of that. Right now, I'm down to 14 inches there roughly width, but the height, at the most I'm going to get 14. Yeah, 16 is not going to work, so I'm just going to go right to 14 and cut that off and get to the cant as quick as I can here. If you look really close at that log, you'll see that that's the belly down side. Let me just see if I can... You can see there's the belly in that, and that's what had hooked me up a little bit with getting the full-size cant that I want out of there. Also, this side here looks like you could have got a couple 2x4s out of that. But I'm already out of the tree down there. You can see the cut. So even though it looks like there's something up here, you're not going to get it down there. And this is why I always put the small end up at this end first. I don't put this big end up here, because when you cut the small end, whatever you can project, that square that you project down through there, that can, is almost always right, except for something like this, where you have, you know, a growth on the side of the log at one end, not on the other, even though this is the small end. Wow. Freaking beautiful wood. Holy mackerel. Nice wood. Not doing this through the winter, I'm freaking beat already. this white pine is so nice that it would be a shame to cut 2x4s out of that. So I'm not going to. I'm going to cut 2x12s out of this. There'll be 10-foot 2x12s. I can always cut other stuff out of it later if I want to. So that's what I'm going to do with this. I need to roll it one click. This is 12 inches on this side. So I'll roll that over once, and then I can get full 2x12s out of the rest of that. Should probably be able to get, I should get 6 of them. 6 2x12s. Well, you know, I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Cutting 1x out of a log, see, I don't need any 1x right now. I have a whole couple skids of it over there, so I don't need 1x. But cutting 1x out of a log this nice would be better than cutting 2x's out of it. Now I do have, excuse me, I do have full-size 2x4s. So when I cut through the middle of that, any shrinkage from it drying and stuff, I'll still be okay with that. That's not going to be a problem for me. I'm just saying that I can get some 1x out of it later if I need to. I don't like resawing like that after the wood is, you know, partially dried, but anyway. So the point is because they're only 10 foot, I'm going to go ahead and cut 2x12s out of this thing when I turn it, and probably end up with a 1x at the bottom of it or so. See what happens. Very nice wood though. Now if you look at that, the way that blade is, you can see that I didn't get a square cut on that side. But the bottom and this side is a 90. So there's a number of things I could do with that thing. I'm just going to come down there probably and take a, I don't know, I think I'll take one board out of that. Let me just see what I got here. I have exactly 13 3/4. It's not going to help me much. Now, I'm going to square this thing up just by cutting into the let's see, if I go down to 13, that'll square that up. I don't really like that though. 13 and a half. That thing is such a nice piece of wood. I'm just going to try and square that side up. And then I'll worry about cutting the 2x after this next cut. 4-foot section here that I just cut up. This is the third log from the stump of this big log. So in other words, there's this one, there's another one up behind this that went onto that, and then this one was onto that. So I'm thinking this whole tree is going to be very nice. I think I'm going to flip that and cut a 1x out of that yet. Okay guys, so that's the last board out of that. That's a 1-inch, 1x12 I should say, 10 foot long. So that'll be good just the way it is, although I should probably cut it down to 8 foot because there's a little bit of wane on that end. It's not a big deal. Maybe I'll leave it like that and let it dry like that. But I do have to cut these flitches yet. I'm not going to cut. There's 2 flitches here need to be cut down to some kind of 1x, and there's 2 2x flitches over there that need to be cut down. So I'm going to do that, and but not today. I'll do it tomorrow. So guys, have a good one. First video of the season that's actually meaningful.